Now I'm delighted to be joined in studio by the very talented Shannon singer-songwriter David Hope. David, good morning to you.
How are you getting on?
Very well, very well. Another man who had to traverse the fuel protest.
I feel like such a hero.
Is that you are here?
Yeah,
is that going to inspire your next album?
Kind of Rambo-esque vibes, dodging traffic, going down back roads.
I don't care how you get here. Just get here.
Like to turn back,
can.
exactly. Yeah. I drove all night to get.
Oh my God, we're doing a nostalgia mashup here.
I actually turned around and went back to Shannon, hired a helicopter. So the fuel crisis is well and truly blowing up in my pocket at the minute.
Oh my God, the amount of fuel used in that helicopter. Thanks for getting in. As we know, we'll get to the gigs you're going to be playing over the next few weeks in just a moment. But like when you've been in before, we've talked about your really interesting job, which is what you do at Music Health Ireland.
Yeah.
Going to nursing homes, I suppose performing, but working with the residents as well, and the. I don't know, it sounds a bit Tony Robbins-esque to say healing power of music, but it does have a positive impact. Can you talk to us a bit about that again? And how regularly you do that?
For anybody who doesn't know, it's musicandhealthireland.ie. You can go and look at it up there. But basically, it's taking professional musicians and retraining them to be hospital or healthcare / community musicians. So it's taking everything you've done as a musician, using all those skill sets and reforming them to go through the doors of a hospital. I use the crude analogy of the old Shamrock and St. Patrick explaining Christianity, and the same thing is true of music and health. People have probably heard of music therapy. That's on one end of it, where people have trained, like any therapeutic intervention, to deal with patients one-on-one using music. On the other side of the spectrum, you have people who might volunteer to go in and play in atrium spaces or go in and volunteer their time, and that's very needed. And what we do is kind of down the middle. So we've trained to bring music into healthcare. The only thing we haven't done in Ireland to date is surgery. We've done everything else. We've gone into all the most sensitive ICUs areas in the likes of Crumlin Children's Hospital in Dublin. We've done palliative care. We've done the first song somebody's ever heard. And a lot of the work here in Clare at the minute, we've done some visits into the hospital in this, which is great. This summer again, we're going to be back doing a thing called MOC. We call it Musicians on Call. And it's basically where we're going around to the nursing homes and doing visits every couple of weeks. In the last couple of years, we've written songs with the stories we've gathered with them, and it's amazing work. It really is. I'm so I don't use the word blessed very often, but I am genuinely, because it is such a lovely work to do. And we're in the middle now of just wrapping up a pilot project inside in UHL in the oncology unit, where we're going in every 2 weeks, every 2 weeks to visit and play music in there. And that's a very, very different set of circumstances. You have people there from 18 to 80 going through treatment, and it's a very sensitive area, and it's lovely to be able to go in and offer something to the space without seeking anything in return, but just offering it to people. And
it sounds like the kind of job. It must just be so rewarding for you, and because you're bringing a bit of sunshine into people's lives who are going through difficult moments, and you must get such a good feeling from that. Yeah,
look, you have a lot of responsibility too, because as I said, when you're going in particularly into those types of situations, sensitivity is paramount, and you have to understand that some people, and it can change hour to hour, day to day. We could go in again this afternoon. We were there yesterday, and we could meet the same people and have entirely different interactions based on where they are with their treatment, where they are in their headspace. You know what I mean? So the worst you can do is just try and offer something and see. And it's so surprising, as I said, you see just doors opening and people coming out, a bit of curiosity, because if you hear a guitar or a cello in a hospital, you're kind of going,
that's it.
Yeah. Like, so it just that's a lot of people say that. If anybody's been in a hospital, it's bumps, it's buzzers, it's people coming in. Whereas when you change that environment with the different sound, it's amazing what can happen, and it really is. It's beautiful work, and I love it, and I highly recommend anybody check it out. And I would like to give a little shout out, if I may, to the good folks in Shannon Golf Club and in my youth reach classes in Kilrush. They've both been collecting the plastic bottles. There's a big orange bin out the front of the back of Shannon Golf Club, and the good patrons have been putting in their bottles, and all of it is going back to helping us bring music out onto the wards.
Brilliant.
And my students down in Kilrush have been doing the same, so I'm big shout out to them. I know they're off for Easter and they won't be listening, but sure, look.
Fair play to you. And that they're in the hospital settings and nursing homes aren't the only places you play. You do play in more conventional settings as well, and if you live in a place beginning with the letter K, there's a good chance David Hope will be visiting you, because you're coming to Kilkee and Kinvarra in the coming weeks. Tell us a bit more.
Yeah, so I'm in the Courthouse Sessions, part of the Cuckoo Fla in Kinvarra on the 3rd of May, Sunday, with a great guy called Stephen Gormley, who goes under the name The Well Below. So it's going to be a double header gig at Cuckoo Fla. I played it years ago and I'm delighted to be back. It's a great little festival. And then on the 22nd, down in the Skinny Dog, the Greyhound in Kilkee, with the great Longford lady called Laura Joe. She was on the Late Late, so sure, it must be good, you know.
There we go.
But no, she's a great musician and songwriter, and it's a great venue. I love it down there. So yeah, there's a couple of gigs down there, and yeah.
Make sure you check David out at both locations, or where he is next playing. David, before you're going to play a song for us before we do, new music, any recordings on the horizon?
Well, I've new album finished now, and this was a song I'm going to play for you. It's called What's the Point? And it was a commission I got through the Arts Office here in Clare last year to kind of capture home and creativity. And if anybody knows, there's a place in Shannon along the estuary called The Point, and Shannon doesn't get much plaudits in Clare for being a beautiful spot.
No, we spoke about The Point recently on the show. A hidden gem.
Yeah, absolutely. And the song is about that. It's kind of, I suppose you can look at it as what's the point in life, but it kind of, that's what I was trying to tie into, and this is going to be on the new album, so I'll give you a blast of that if that's all right.
Excellent. New music from David Hope. Take it away, sir.
The heron at dusk flies over the rushes as the sun settles down to her bed in the bushes. Dark clouds from the east, like blankets drawn over, are tucked into the west as the nighttime gets colder. What's the point of all of this? The wind in your hair or the moon's gentle kiss? What's the point of all of this? The roads that you walk may be grey and be lonely, but sometimes the black path's the one and the only way that you need to rekindle your spark, to guide you and light your way out of the dark. What's the point of all of this? The wind in your hair or the moon's gentle kiss? What's the point of all of this? Oh, the point it is life, the point it is love, 2 feet on the ground, head in the clouds above. This place we call home, the best things they are free. Let your dreams run wild like the river run free. At both ends of this path, people say their goodbyes to those heading south and those up to the skies. And all in between are just life's twists and turns. And down on the shoreline are the lessons we've learned. What's the point of all of this? The wind in your hair or the moon's gentle kiss? What's the point of all of this? There is no point at all.
Fantastic. I love philosophical songs, and it bodes well for the new album. David, absolute pleasure having you in, as always. Thank you so much. And the chopper's filled up outside and ready to bring you back to Shannon. Thanks very much. David Hope, rather, going back to Shannon with us on Morning Focus.